The kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Matthew 25:1. His words were both familiar and profound, for weddings were a grand celebration in Jewish culture, a symbol of joy and unity. The virgins, young women chosen to accompany the bride, were tasked with one crucial duty: to wait with their lamps lit, ready to meet the bridegroom when he arrived. Their lamps symbolized preparedness, a light to guide their path in the dark of night. Yet even as Jesus wove his story, there was an air of mystery. Why 10 virgins? Why the delay of the bridegroom? His audience leaned in, eager to grasp the deeper meaning. Jesus continued, 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. The wise virgins carried oil in flasks along with their lamps, while the foolish took only their lamps, neglecting the vital reserve of oil. The tension in his tale began to build. Why would some prepare so meticulously while others acted so carelessly? The disciples likely imagined the flickering lamps and the virgins' excitement. The night was filled with anticipation, but the delay of the bridegroom loomed large. The night wore on. Stars twinkled overhead, but the festive energy began to wane. While the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. But then at midnight, a cry pierced the silence. Behold, the bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him. Matthew 25:6. The virgins awoke with a start, their hearts racing. Lamps flickered and shadows danced as they hurried to prepare. The wise virgins trimmed their lamps and poured their reserved oil, their flames bursting to life. But the foolish virgins panicked, their lamps sputtered, the flames dwindling into darkness. Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out, they pleaded. Matthew 25:8. The wise virgins shook their heads. Regret etched on their faces. No, they replied, lest there should not be enough for us and you, but go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves. Matthew 25:9. As the foolish virgins stumbled into the night in search of oil, the bridegroom arrived. Jesus declared, those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Matthew 25:10. The wedding hall, filled with light and music, was a picture of joy. The wise virgins, their lamps burning bright, entered with the bridegroom. They had waited, prepared, and were rewarded with the celebration. Outside, however, the foolish virgins were in disarray. Their frantic search for oil had led them nowhere. They returned to the wedding hall breathless and desperate. Knocking on the door, they cried, Lord, Lord, open to us. Matthew 25:11. But from within came a solemn reply, assuredly, I say to you, I do not know you. Matthew 25:12. The disciples sat in silence, the vivid imagery of the parable burning in their minds. Jesus turned to them, his voice steady yet piercing. Watch therefore, he said, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. Matthew 25:13. This was no ordinary wedding story. Jesus was revealing the urgency of spiritual readiness. The bridegroom symbolized himself, the Son of Man, who would return at an hour no one expected. The wise virgins represented those who lived in constant vigilance, their lives illuminated by faith and obedience. The foolish, however, were those who neglected the call to prepare, assuming there would always be time. Oil, the lifeblood of the lamps. It stands for readiness, faith, and a life lived in obedience to God. The parable was a stark reminder that salvation could not be borrowed or purchased at the last moment. Each person bore responsibility for their own preparedness. Jesus' message is timeless. No one knows when he will return. Just as the bridegroom's arrival was unexpected, so too will be the day of the Lord. This parable serves as a call to live purposefully, to nurture our faith daily, and to be ready at any moment for Christ's return. What does it mean to have your lamp burning brightly in today's world? The parable challenges us to reflect on our spiritual readiness. Are our lamps burning? Or are we like the foolish women, unprepared for the bridegroom's arrival? In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to grow complacent. But Jesus' words remind us, be alert. Mark 13:33. The signs of his return may be unclear, but the call to readiness is undeniable. This story speaks to everyone, urging us to examine our lives. Are we prepared to meet him? The door to the wedding feast is still open, but one day it will close. Don't wait. Keep your lamp burning. Be ready, for the bridegroom could come at any moment.